like you said, I looked up that glass ceiling and why can't I get through that? You know,
Hmm.
and that was agitating to me. But I also saw other brothers and sisters who came there. They came there to not try to move forward, but they came there just to, okay, I need a job right now. I just need a job. See, I think that mentality messes with I need a job.
Yeah,
Instead of
yeah.
saying, okay, I need to be in control of my own destiny. See, that's what made me retire when I retired. Because the one thing I couldn't take, and this has been ingrained in me, I cannot allow another person to be in control of my financial future.
No, I totally understand.
Because I don't know how, if God bless me to wake up the next day, I don't know what they're gonna be feeling that day.
No, for sure, for
All they
sure.
gotta say is let them go.
Mm,
And that's the end of my, if I put all my eggs in that basket. And understand that we need to have employment and things of that nature. But going back to what you're saying, wanting to be the boss, we should be bosses in our own, inside of our own beings of who we are first.
mm,
Whereas I'm in control of myself, nobody else is, right?
mm,
When I go out into the work industry, not me hypothetically, but people, when we go in, we should we should honor the position, like you said. They run
mm,
it. Okay,
mm,
this is their set of rules. I got to live by these rules,
mm,
right? But if I'm living by those rules and I'm still being denied, then the only other option, and I'm frustrated. I got
mm,
I got a decent salary, but I'm
mm,
frustrated.
mm,
I even feel like a man,
mm,
feel like a worker. I'm tired
mm,
all the time. I'm putting out fires left and right at work, but they refuse to give me the position that I know that I deserve.
mm.
All of this kind of is this are these factors that you mentioned and we just talked about concerning being the boss. I think it's not every, but in particular, if you are a male, and I believe if you are an alpha type male, which I believe you are, not just aggressive, all that, but I'm talking about mentally alpha. If you're alpha type male, then when you're put in those positions, then something inside of you is going to stand up and be resistant to that because that's a form of dominating you.
Mhm.
We have to call. See, people want you to forget about. See, I have PTSD, so I cannot forget about seeing my friend killed right in front of me, brother. So when I hear people say you need to forget about slavery, forget about what happened in in the plight of black people and just focus on what's in front of you now. That's impossible. You can try, but soon
Yeah,
as
but
something like
what
this,
you are is what you are is an accumulation of the things that happen to you and your parents and everything. I mean, it's like you didn't sprout out the ground with no history.
right?
So your history dictates it doesn't your history doesn't dictate your future, but your history dictates your present.
Yes,
So it's it's you have to take your history in account. You have to take your history in account of why situations are. You don't necessarily, okay, how can I say? You have to take, I believe that you have to take account of your history, but at the same time, realize what that history was and why it led you where you were,
mm-hmm.
and use your present to plan where you're going to be in the future. Like, I think I said that correctly, but like it's like understanding where you came from that got you to the present, but it's your job in the present to get you to the future, knowing the history,
Right.
knowing the history. That's kind of how I look at that particular subject.
The correct history.
Yeah. Well, you got to learn the correct history, and sometimes that takes a lifetime to
Right.
even. My paradigms have changed a million times for a
Yes.
million different things. You
Yes.
know,
Yes. Me
so
too.
So sometimes that's just something that you have to go along because you'll believe something is correct. You believe this because your mama told you. You
Mm-hmm.
believe that because granny told you. And
Mm-hmm.
then you come to find out and say, well, not exactly. But I still love you, mama and grandma. But this is how I have to do now because this is what's here for me to do now. Now I know the facts,
Sure.
or I know what's true. So, and
Right.
then that may change.
Yeah.
Then that may change too. A couple of years from now, when we all know, I'm in my 50s,
Right.
but when I was 20, I thought away. When I was 30, I thought away. When I was 40, I thought away. And I'm thinking a different way now. So your paradigms always change
Yeah.
with the information that you get.
Very
Yeah.
strong point, brother.
Hey, brother Zulu. Huh? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I say, brother, a very strong point. Because what you're leaning to, what you're really saying is that we should understand that we are lifelong learners, lifelong
Yes.
learners, not just I'm 53 right now. I know it all. No, I don't. I don't.
No.
I think that there's dangerous people who think they know it all. I think that's very dangerous.
Yeah, I think the dumbest person in the room is the person that said they know what it is, what's happening.
Right. You real talk, man. You see, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's deep right there because just when you think you know something, you find out you don't know nothing.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So, like
Yeah.
being a lifelong learner, how important that is. That was real strong in what you were saying when you were explaining that. Because even when we talking about becoming bosses and becoming learning how to pool our resources together was my question. Why aren't our black millionaires, those who have been blessed, to have millions? Why
Hey
are
man, this is
we
America.
coming together and okay, let's do what we see so many immigrants who come to the country do. You'll
They
see.
don't have
Go ahead.
culture. They don't have the same culture.
Man, hold on. You
You know
slowing
what I
down,
mean?
brother.
Like if we talking about now, I'm sorry, you can't hear me? Hello?
I think the connection went. Let me see. I can see you freezing up a little bit. Do I sound good to you?
Okay. Maybe I'm moving.
You
Yeah,
might.
you sound clear.
Yeah, I
I'm
can.
trying to hold it.
Yeah,
I'm
you like.
still breaking up.
I can hear you now, but you froze. Your picture froze.
Okay.
It'll work out. Probably your
How
connection.
about now?
It still look a little froze. Sound a little. Go
How
ahead, talk.
about now? Um,
I
I
can
kind
edit
of
all this. I'm gonna edit all that part, so don't worry about it. But yeah, go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead. I can hear you.
I'm trying to remember my exact point, bro.
Oh, all right.
Um,
What I was talking about was definitely the fact that when we went back to being a boss, we went back to talking about how we can really bring that into fruition. And my question was, how come all of the athletes, it's strange to me that the athletes and the people in the entertainment community do not pool their resources together and create their own platform, right? And why is that so hard for us to do? One of the other things that I was kind of trying to say inside of that was uh adjusting to what's going on in the community, right? As far as we're talking about killing, we're talking about self-loathing, we're talking about understanding love, and we're talking about our environment. How these things can equal to killing um one another so haphazardly, so easily. And to brag about it, kind of like have a smile on your face about, yeah, I did this to so and so and so. What gives us that? Have we lost ourselves in trying to find ourselves? Let's bring it there. Have we
hmm,
really lost
um,
ourselves in trying to
we
find
def-
ourselves?
we definitely have a confusing culture at the moment. Uh, 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 when you talk about being happy, like you made the point about a person killing somebody or hurting someone and being happy or use that as a bragging statement. I think that's really just sick culture to me. That's a culture that is a spawn of the crack era. It's a spawn of the it's a spawn of the killing of our leaders that actually had some of enough of us thinking the same way, you
Right.
know, and
Right.
then the crack epidemic and the AIDS epidemic. I mean everything. It's like it got to a point with our culture right now, and a lot of it had to do with media. I mean, I have to keep really going back to media, because many of our children listen to the media more than they will listen to you. Listen to what's pumped in their ears
Yes.
more than anything that you say. Like, and people say, "Well, you got to be a father." Trust me, I try to be a father.
Right.
I got kids, and I'm here, and I'm present, and I'm be a father.
It's gonna
But
happen.
I ain't got shit on TikTok.
Right.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
Real
Like it's like why? And then you go to television. Maybe hopefully I stay on track, but like you go to television, and every day you can see the agenda putting certain things inside the media. It's not really for me. I'm already created and have my
Right.
overall way I think feel about life. All of that is for your children. All of that is for your children to direct them a certain way. So when you got uh uh the I don't know. I don't even know what you call it. The type of drill, like the drill music per se. Like this is a young type of rap music that people
Right.
listen to, right?
I heard about it. Yeah.
And
Right.
right, and the whole essence of it, the whole essence of it is bravado and violence. So, like, if your kids is listening to it now, some of it knock. You listen to it and you pop
Mm.
your head to it. If it ain't had no words to it, I mess around and ride to it.
Yeah.
But
Right. Right.
but but they're listening to the words, and it's funny and it's cultural. You
Yeah.
say just let's think about you know how much of a joke the our young I ain't gonna say our culture is what I'm in my opinion.
Right.
Like
Real
like,
talk.
like you got Cardi B being the voice on a political show for the black community. How is that possible? And I could take Cardi B's name out of it and put Little Kim's in there if
Hmm.
just because she's Spanish, if you just want to alleviate that. But the point is, how did that be the icon or the what
Yeah.
would be for the culture? Like
Right.
do it for the culture. What you mean do it for the culture?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What culture? You know, the culture, and I am older, but I'm looking back past me. I'm looking back when my father during the civil rights movement. That was culture. That was culture because that had a purpose. And even further back, if we even want to go back to Oklahoma, that was culture in a
Right.
harder, much harder time for us.
Hmm.
But culture of our our culture has been whittled, in
Right.
my opinion, and made weak. Like first, it was a big tree, and that was our culture. Then